you can almost guarantee that if everybody hates it on the internet, it's a huge success. Not always, but most of the time. So, I've never had a video that got 1 million views, not one, that somebody doesn't say, you've jumped the shark and this is the worst video ever made.
The Know Your Gear podcast.
I saw the Quart video. I knew they were big factories, but the sheer size and volume of the manufacturer is insane. Thanks for sharing the insight. No question. Grab one from the chat. Cheers. Yes, it's why I was focused on that. So you guys know, when I got the, you get the scent, right? You get the smell, like the opportunity. When I first talked to the guys at Quartet Guitars a few years ago, and it was a friendly conversation via email, I was like, well, they're being nice to me. We're being friendly. I go, well, let's go in for the ask. And I was like, I want to come to the factory. And as you guys know, I've told this story to death, but I only wanted to see it because they said they did a 1.2 million guitars. And all I could think was, I need to see that. I need to see that. I don't know why. And now I know why. It's one of the few things in my life that I've done, and I had no idea. I could not explain it to myself, my wife, my friends. I could not explain why I needed to see it, but I needed to see it. Now that I've done it, I totally know why I needed to see it, and that's my secret to keep for myself. But what I learned there was epic, but more importantly, it was... it's crazy. And I'm glad I got to share it with you. Like I said, they let me share everything except for one thing, which now ties in. I'm doing really good with the segues today. Look at this. I'm like flowing. It ties into, I grabbed it from an early riser question from Hero Glop, who said, hey, Phil, do you know if the new Asian Fender standards, which is the standards Strats, Tellys, P basses, are selling? Failure or success? Well, funny enough, one of the things I was not able to show you was there was 4 buildings you didn't see at Quartet. I didn't show you the Strandberg building. That was not on Quartet or Strandberg, so you know. That was on me. I just didn't show it to you. It basically, if you saw the master building, which you did in the video, they were making some Strandbergs in that building too. You see them in the background if you're looking in that video. So same but different, because they have their own specialized employees like Purus does and stuff. So I didn't share that with you. That was just, I could maybe one day share some footage with you. I don't know. The 3 buildings I didn't share with you guys was the Ibanez building, the Fender building, and the Squire building. Those are the 3 buildings I did not share with you guys. And so the Fender building, as you can imagine, is where they're making those Fender standards at. And they're making a lot. So is it a failure or success? Well, as of August, when they were building, which is building for fourth quarter, I'm going to say it was a somewhat of a success because they were building a lot of guitars. They make a lot of guitars. The thing that I think the way people think sometimes is not 100%. They don't see the whole picture, and maybe sometimes you want to back up and expand out. Looking at this guitar, the guitar world through my eyes, let me see show you through how my eye sees this. When you see a $600 Indonesian-made Fender Standard Stratocaster or a Tele, and the market slows down, your first thought is probably like, how did it go over? Because, it got a lot of hate. Well, first of all, you can almost guarantee that if everybody hates it on the internet, it's a huge success. Not always, but most of the time. So, I've never had a video that got 1 million views, not one, that somebody doesn't say, you've jumped the shark and this is the worst video you ever made. I don't mean like 1 in the million. That's like the comment. They're like, this is the worst video you ever made, Phil. I'm like, okay, cool. And then boom, now it's 3 million views. Okay. So just, I don't know what it is. So people just have a lot of people with no sense of something have an opinion about it. I guess that's all of us. But my point is, what's going to happen now is we see everybody's buying down. In other words, the market's tighter. People are not spending as much. We see that. In the guitar industry, everybody always thinks, and I've told you guys this before, everybody thinks everybody just stops buying. It's not what happens. First of all, some people aren't even affected by a recession. Recessions are strange, and I'm not even saying we're in one, I'm just talking about markets. I'm really going to talk about the last recession because that's where I pull a lot of information from because I survived that market in this industry. What people really do, they do pull their discretionary spending to a point, but they also kind of just change. Like I used to buy $3,000 guitars, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to buy a pedal or I'm going to buy, a $300 guitar and fix it up. I'm still going to find a way to enjoy myself. It's kind of like I'm still taking the kids to Disneyland. We're just staying at the La Quinta and not the Marriott, right? Like that's like people, for some reason, only people in comment sections across the internet have this pass fail system attitude towards everything. Oh, guitar market's down, then nobody buys a guitar at all, and all companies go out of business. I'm like, that's not even close to how it works. Well, how it works is people pull back. That's the first thing they do. And they would pull back. You go, oh, it's going to be tough. Except for companies like Fender, what they'll do is they have those price points to pull back to. So where you would have bought an $800 guitar now and you slide down to their $600 guitar, they still get the sale. Yes, it's not the same, but they still get it. So I see a lot of people saw this coming with those models when they came out in January, that they saw the market and they were like, we need this price point for the market. Look, I'm not saying... I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to say this. Actually, I'm buying time while I try to figure this out. Look, obviously you saw the videos I made of the Core-Tech factory where SEs are at. You see what PRS is doing. You see that they're basically making guitars that can survive a softer market. They cannot sell $5,000 guitars in a soft market. Now, when I say cannot, see, this is the pass fail. I don't mean they won't sell none. They're just going to sell a lot less, right? They're just going to sell a lot less. They're going to sell a lot less. Well, they got to sell something. So they create a new market, or they expand the market that will survive or do better in this market, which is SE. Same with Fender. They're just going to expand the markets. Everyone does this in this industry. And again, I'm only talking about the music industry. I don't want to talk about other industries. I don't want to hear about what he says. Oh, this is what's happening in my industry. I'm like, great, but this is a guitar podcast. In the guitar market, if you can't sell your $300 pedal, you make a more affordable line of pedals and you push on that a little bit. Because again, you still have a buying community that loves your product and they want to buy something because this is how they reward themselves with joy to some degree. And then you need to give them something that they'll pull the trigger on. And sometimes there's two ways to do that. Lower your price, which is what a lot of people are doing right now. That will definitely get some people to buy. Create a new price point that's lower, or create a product that's more exciting that just gets them to go, I don't even care about money anymore. I'm just going to throw your wallet down, right? I call it vacation spending logic. When you're on vacation and they're like, how much is that coffee? And they go, $11. And you go, well, I'm on vacation. I deserve this $11 coffee. The rest of the year, I'm getting 7-Eleven coffee. I'm getting this $11 coffee, damn it. And everybody, you know what? I'm buying everybody $11 coffee. I'm on vacation. I call that vacation logic, where you just, your logic goes away to some people. So you can do that logic anytime. You can be like, I need this. I'm doing it. So to answer your question, they were building lots, in August for fourth quarter. I don't think they were going to oversaturate. Obviously, I have the in because I was there at the factory and I know a bunch of things that why they were doing what they were doing. When I say that, I mean all the brands, and all the brands seem to be on the same page about where the market's going to be and where the prices and the products need to be to hit that market as a whole. So if you like this clip and you'd like to watch another one, you can click right here. And if you want to see the entire episode of the podcast, you can click right there. As always, thank you for your time and know your gear.